What it do, what it do, how y'all feeling? Welcome to Ash Neil's Radio. I am your host, Ash Neil. That is I. So, we talking to y'all. Yes. Now, there's a lot of YouTube channels out there covering the Karmelo Anthony case, mine included. But I'm not as big as some of these people. And it almost seems like the ones that are pretty big, million subscribers and more, they have this take that Karmelo Anthony's family are despicable. They're lying. Karmelo's a murderer. He should be in jail. Don't know why he was given a GoFundMe or a Gifts and Go. He bought a mansion. All this despicable shit, right? But as the case starts to come out, they get pie on their face. Yes. And this motherfucker is one of them. I don't know if you guys remember this.
Why are they doing this? Why are they buying a brand new Escalade? Why are they moving into a huge mansion?
They didn't. Yep. And funny thing is, he knows it. And now he's starting to, I guess, backtrack what he said. And it's funny because a lot of these grifters, they really have no purpose. They just, trying to peddle to the racists of the country, the ones that are thinking Karmelo should not get due process. So they're just throwing these videos out there real fast, get a lot of clicks, a lot of views real quick. And when information start to come out, they have to say shit like this.
Hey, look, when I reported on him buying a brand new house, I admitted that once more information came out, that was incorrect. About buying a brand new car, that was also incorrect. I tried to, keep it 100 no matter what.
Exactly. So you have to ask yourself, where these motherfuckers come from? Where? And why do they feel the need to try to lie? And I'm going to call it a lie because they have no information on this case, but yet they feel like they can disparage the family, laugh when they're getting threats, and call it a cultural thing. Trying to lump black folks into one issue of stabbing people. When he just said,
I try to, keep it 100 no matter what.
Keep it 100. Bro, you're not like us. What do you mean keep it 100? You don't even know what that term is. You probably know what it means, but that you don't know where it came from. That came from our culture. Keep it a buck. Keep it 100. So you trying to keep it 100? No. What you were doing was being racist. You were peddling in racism, and you continue to do it. You're sitting here saying, "Ooh, black guy stab white kid. Let's try to drag him." And then when news come out that they didn't buy that Escalade with the money, here you go trying to backpedal. No. Keep that same energy. But we're gonna follow the grift. We're gonna follow the grift. So let's see, because he has a lot of these people. They have this so-called gotcha moment as updates start coming up after they concede that they were lying in the beginning. They start saying, "Oh, new videos is coming out showing Karmelo Anthony's personality and who he was." His friends are saying this guy here was not that person the media says he is. And let's see if some of these videos are damaging to Karmelo's case.
There's a couple of weird reports going out with some videos of the kid that are odd. However, there is some pretty spicy video. Apparently, some of his former classmates spilled the beans about him getting into apparently fights all the time. This is a little different than what I was told about this perfect little boy that didn't do nothing wrong. But let's get into it. Huge shout out to Meta PCs. They're the only computer I use. I recommend it to my friends and family.
I don't care.
And promo code The Core Ring will save you money.
Yeah,
I want to share this video. This gentleman makes the best statement yet. Too much common sense concerning Austin Metcalf / Karmelo Anthony encounter, saying it's not about race. I don't necessarily think there's no evidence that this is quote unquote about race. And I've never said it was. There's a larger overarching conversation about a particular group of people.
If it wasn't about race, you wouldn't be so biased. You wouldn't be. You have yet to cover the Casey Anthony Allison case, and you're even hateful to Austin's dad because he's not joining the racial aspect of this case. That's you seeing the racial element but taking the wrong side.
In particular, young black men that are out there taking lives like they're cookies out of a cookie jar. But the Karmelo Anthony case, we've seen no evidence that it had anything to do with race. So let's see what this guy has to say.
Let's see.
Yeah, so, I think sometimes some things just need to be said. I've had a couple debates about the whole Austin Metcalf murder. Mm-hmm. And, basically what I'm getting from this is that there are a lot of people
Ricky
still in 2025 who think that you are just supposed to walk around seeing the whole world through the lens of race. And that's just not the person that I am, right?
It's not the person I am either, but it is the person that most Democrats want people to be. But shout out to this guy for, I'm that way too. Like I don't really
look at him. He found him a black guy that said he don't look at stuff through a racial lens. There's a lot of them. I don't know this brother, but hey, if he doesn't notice some of the racial things that are going on, like some of the repealing of key laws that were passed during the Civil Rights Act, hey, then he doesn't see it. It's up to him. But for you to point out that, hey, look, even this black guy agreed. No, you're foiling. And you're trying to cover your I would say smear campaign of trying to not be racist, but knowing that everybody knows you're racist. So you can try to muddy the waters. No pun intended. But use black people to make it look like there's no racism. I just thought of that. Muddy the water. I guess you use black folks in a clear setting to make it look like it was the black folks that made it dirty.
Live my life thinking about race constantly, but there are people that do.
This particular situation, I look at this situation through the lens of a father, right? Because I have a son that plays sports, and I cannot imagine taking my son to a soccer game or a basketball game, and the end result is him being dead. Stabbed in the chest over
we all agree.
What?
We all agree.
A argument, a confrontation, a shove, a push. I mean, I don't think that there's a scenario where you could convince me as a father, right? If my kid didn't have a gun, a knife, a stick, a slingshot, a screwdriver, nothing, right? There's nothing that you can tell me to convince me that someone else is justified in stabbing him in the heart and fucking killing him.
I agree. I don't think anybody on Karmelo's side is saying that Austin deserved it. There are some airheads out here. Of course, you got them on both sides. They're all trying to see who could be more disgusting, right? Granted, we can call out our side. I think everybody's saying, let the due process play out. Give them due process. Let's all figure out what's going on. before y'all label him a murderer and all of this shit. We just had Allison be found not guilty of murder, but found guilty of manslaughter. And I said, yeah, I don't see why Karmelo couldn't get manslaughter. You know, he did unalive somebody. But for you guys to have so much venom against him and talk about the black cultures out here stabbing people, that's where it becomes a racial issue. And there's a racial element that is there on purpose. And we all see it. And I kind of really don't care if you don't, to be honest with you, because none of them see it. And they have these people everywhere. And personally, I don't know why they think we care what they have to say, but we don't. But one take kind of set the tone for this whole racial hate. And it was this guy. This guy has the weirdest take on Karmelo. And he wishes he was still in jail for the wrong reasons.
We have some newly discovered footage of Karmelo Anthony, a Texas teen charged with the brutal, fatal stabbing of 17-year-old high school athlete Austin Metcalf. And it's showing exactly how Karmelo interacts with his fellow teammates, classmates, peers, just giving us a deeper look into more of his personality, attitude, and, unfortunately for him, some major red flags, at least in the eyes of a former convict of 10 years, that is guaranteed to have him labeled as easy prey before he even
The fuck you talking about? What? Hey, look, that whole dramatic ass voice you have and slow ass. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and discuss why some of my folks, mind you, I'm an ex-convict, and there was a lot of talk in the yard where, you know, some of my folks said they can't wait for Karmelo to come up in here. Bruh. So let's see what this motherfucker gotta say. Oh shit.
touches the prison yard. I'll show you the footage first, as much as I can of it, because there is some copyright music on it, so bear with me on the edits. But after that, we'll get right into the assessment.
Let's go. This is his intro. I low-key like this. Chill. Hold up.
Karmelo Anthony, class of 2025, Centennial High School, Frisco, Texas. I might have
That's
to,
right.
If you play number 2, I'm gonna have to lock in. I swear. You not open, bro. Shut up. You not open, bro. Shut up. You not even open. He tried to talk all that because I got the mic on.
Now, mind you, this is supposed to be a gotcha video for Karmelo. Like, we realize who he really is, or some shit.
Hey, talk all that now, bro. Hey, come on, get that. Hey. Oh yeah, D. Oh yeah. Get him! Yo! Hey, number C, what? Number 1, what? What seed? Come on now. We strapping. Hey, we up. No, what's the number 1 seed? Who the number 1 seed? Us. Both up. Yeah. Yo. Oh yeah. He finna get. Hey.
Okay.
Hey!
Having fun.
Yeah!
Wait a minute. Yeah! Was that Karmelo just jumping with some white kid, enjoying the game? I'm trying to figure out What are we supposed to be seeing that is a negative of Karmelo? I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, hey, good stuff.
All right.
Let's go, baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Good game. Come on, no pass. That was not no pass interference. I swear it wasn't.
Oh boy. I don't know about you, but I saw so much crap there just in that short sequence of clips, which I had to highly edit because of the music.
Did y'all see a whole bunch of sequence of crap? I know I got one eye, but I didn't see it. I seen people having fun. Karmelo having, I guess, sportsman-like mentality. I don't know if you play sports, but that's what we do on the field. We talk shit. We have fun. But I'm listening. Let me figure out where the issue was.
Tried to give you just the gist. I saw so much already that's just, oh boy. And I'm talking about as far as inmates who are going to view this, because you got to think.
Inmates.
Karmelo's a trending topic. He's a hot topic. They're watching everything that happens about Karmelo. So now that this footage has been dug up, they're going to see it. Just keep that in mind. They're going to see this. They're all going to see this.
You hear what he's saying?
Me?
All his inmate buddies, they seen this. Or they know this case. And they might see this video of him having fun on the field. I'm trying to understand how this isn't weird, how this isn't creepy, how this isn't you reaching for some kind of personality flaw in Karmelo to determine that he should be off the streets. Maybe I should give you some more time. Hold on.
As a former inmate, 10 years, just watching that, there's so much crap that's just bad to have out there. And I'm not even the guy in prison you got to worry about. I'm not even the guy who's all tough and I'm going to walk up to you and apply all this pressure and tell you this and try this and do that. I'm not even the one.
This convict.
But I've seen the ones. I know those. I know the guys. I've seen them. Oh boy. So we got this guy, Karmelo. He's mic'd up, and I'm going to explain that to you for a second. If you follow sports and you know about sports, you already know what's going on with being mic'd up during a football match or whatever. Football match. I sound like I don't watch sports. Football game. I don't know why I said football match. I'm sorry. Please don't. Keep watching. Please don't click off the video. Football game.
So, you don't know about football, but yet you're trying to make it seem like Karmelo did something wrong in this video while he was playing football. Might have been, I don't know, some kind of scrimmage game. I don't know. But to me, it looked like he was having fun.
Okay, boys. If you're mic'd up, usually they mic up the good players, the popular players, the players who make plays. They're great. They're some of the best on the team.
Okay. Why was Karmelo mic'd up? I mean, that's what you said. You said he was mic'd up. And then you said they only mic up the good players. Okay, so maybe Karmelo was the person that he said he was, or that everybody's saying that he is. I don't know, but let me hear the bad parts of Karmelo. I'm gonna give you about 38 more seconds.
they mic'd up Karmelo Anthony for this high school thing right here, which, by the way, this was his old high school before his Texas high school.
Oh.
And this took place in the Carolinas, where I'm from. Interesting.
He's been doing it for a while. That's all I hear. I'm sorry. I'm going frame by frame, video, point by point, as you're speaking badly about Karmelo.
If you mic up a player, he's supposed to be great. Because it's fun to hear these star players and what are you thinking? What are you saying to other players? What's the dialogue out there on the field that the fans don't really usually get to hear while the game's going on?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So that's the idea. So now it's trickled down from the NFL and all that down to some high school match game. So this guy's mic'd up, and I couldn't help but notice, and trust me, for your own listening pleasure, for your ears, for the sake of your eardrums, I cut out 90% of him just going. But I can guarantee you, just like the very few amount of clips.
So wait a minute, you took out more of his excitement? 15 more seconds. I'm going to give you 15 more seconds.
I did leave in there just to give you an idea. Every time you hear him scream like he just accomplished something, he didn't do anything. It's someone else. And if you run back those clips, he cheers and acts like he just did something every time someone else does something. So I don't know how great this guy was at football.
What?
I mean, he's no behemoth. I don't know if he's a running back.
He cheers when everybody else does something. He's mic'd up because he's one of the good players. And he cheers when somebody else is doing something. And you show videos of him, I don't know, chilling with his white teammates too. Maybe when his white teammates do something good, he's like, oh shit, look what they did. He killed them. He's cheering on everybody. And you're like, he deserves to be locked up. Now, he doesn't need, I can concede that he needs to let the case play out. And if manslaughter is what it is and he has to go and do some time, that's just what it is, bro. Let everything play out. But for you guys to think he should just be in jail right now, so your buddies can have their way with him.
I don't even know what he's supposed to do out there because I didn't see a single clip. I cut a lot out, but trust me, the full 4-minute video, I'll link it in the description so you can go see yourself.
That was it then.
He didn't do a dang thing the whole time.
That was
a
stop.
Why he's mic'd up.
He just
but
stopped
he's
it.
mic'd up.
He just stopped that pass.
And overall,
let's see what happens.
This tells me is that because he's mic'd up and he knows he's mic'd up and this is going to be on video and it's going to be uploaded and his classmates are going to see this and some hot chicks that he goes to school with are going to see this. He wants to be all cool. He's feigning this arrogance and this cockiness and this confidence. But you're not doing anything. He doesn't do.
White boy threw the ball to a white boy. The white boy caught it. The white boy made a touchdown. I guarantee you, Carmelo's back there saying, oh, you got it. Oh, shit. My boy made the catch. And y'all think he's wrong for that. To be honest with you, I knew you had nothing to say, and I'm done with you. Because this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. These people have no point to prove. No actual complaint. They just want to smear Karmelo for the sake of smearing him. And I wouldn't call it all racial, because you have some black folks that ain't kinfolk that join the bandwagon and they want to say what they have to say about Karmelo as well. And of course, it's all, updates about, oops, my bad. They been had that truck. But some developments come out that, even I didn't get. So we had this woman here that said, Carmelo's dad has a friend and his friend, who was his friend of 10 years, had an interview, and the interview didn't go well for Karmelo. So this is another update, about the whole situation, because I can't catch them all, and I can't find this actual interview. But I'm glad, because I do want to have a take on her take. And I want you guys to notice the way these people, even our own people, are willing to just bash Karmelo because of this situation. Make it seem like he's just some thug, uneducated, black kid who is a menace to society. So let's see what she has to say about this interview.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Keisha King Show. I am Keisha King Benton. Go ahead and smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and share this out with your friends. What we do over here on the Keisha King Show is we seek the truth. We try to go a little bit deeper than the surface. So if you want the surface stuff, you can certainly go to other channels for that. But over here, what we try to do is we truly want truth.
Okay. Well, I haven't followed her or seen any of her videos, but I would love to see if she peddled the whole they bought a new truck and house. Because if she did, then she just lied again by saying she's here to seek the truth. But let's hear her video, her take on this interview, because I did not hear this interview. But she's saying this guy is not helping the case. So let's go ahead, Keisha.
We want the truth. And so we try to get to the root of issues so we can hopefully shed light on the truth and help people find solutions in this crazy chaos that we're living in. We're going to be talking today about this new update that I have found on Karmelo Anthony. Yes, again, we're talking about this case because it is important to keep up with. It involves young people at school. It involves someone losing their life, a young person losing their life, and now this whole race thing has been brought into it. So we're looking today at a supposed 10-year friend of Andrew Anthony, Karmelo Anthony's father. For those who may not know, if you don't know by now, Karmelo Anthony is the young 17-year-old kid, high schooler, who fatally stabbed Austin Metcalf in the chest at a track school meet about a month ago now. Right. And he was arrested. He admitted it, went to jail. His bond was lowered. His parents were able to get him out of jail. They have raised over $500,000. Right. They have claimed threats on their lives, prompting them to say, we need to leave. Go watch my videos on that because I just don't find it credible. However,
see? So she probably do have videos about the mansion and the car. I don't know. But why you don't find her claims credible? So you don't think her daughter fears for her safety? You don't think that the family's getting death threats, is what you're saying? That's what you're saying? All right. Because there's a lot of videos about the Metcalf family receiving death threats. And I think that is true. We can sit back and be like, man, that's fucked up. They probably are receiving death threats. But you sitting there talking about, I don't find it credible that the Anthony family is seeking to. Go ahead and griff. I'm listening.
They have the right to do it. I also want to say they do have the right to have a Give, Send, Go.
Of course.
I did see the owner of Give, Send, Go. He came out and talked about that as well. He kind of mentioned, it's not something that I'm proud of, but yes, we want everybody to be able to have the right. You're innocent until proven guilty. Mm-hmm. I have no problems with that. I've never been one of the ones to say, oh, he shouldn't be able to raise money. You can. Like I say, let him have the same. He is afforded the same rights as everyone else.
Yep.
under the law, because when he gets that due process, there are no questions on the back end when and if he is charged and convicted. So let's get into this interview by this 10-year friend of Andrew Anthony, Karmelo's dad.
And that's a no-go. But when I got my girlfriend's daughter a car here, Andrew, the father, did the deal. So
it sounds like this guy, I think his name is Mark Anthony as well. Like, too many Anthonys, too many A's and Anthonys. We got Andrew Anthony, we got Karmelo Anthony. Now this guy is Mark Anthony. Lord have mercy. He supposedly, how he knows Andrew, the father, is he bought his daughter a car. Remember, Andrew Anthony, Karmelo's father, is he works at a car dealership. I think he's now a finance person, but maybe he started out as a car salesman. But that is how this man is saying that they met.
If anybody wants to ask me anything, I mean, I'm always good.
Why don't we do this? Go ahead, and because I know one of your main things is the misinformation that has been going on.
There's a lot of it. I heard some of that this morning at breakfast.
So I think I'd like for you to just go ahead.
So this guy, I guess he interviewed him. I don't know who he is, but I will leave a link to the full video. It's like a 2-hour video, which we're not going to watch the whole thing, but there's some key points that I think are very important. And this is not who you want speaking. Again, the Anthonys have chosen or let.
All right, so these are going to be some key points in this 2-hour interview that she believes are some things that shouldn't be said and is not helping the case, right? So I wanted to play her video in its entirety because I want y'all to see the grift on how some of our people, even though you may not hear no negative, she's going to try to create a negative. And it's because there's a lot of other people that love this kind of shit. They want to hear a black face talk shit about Karmelo and black folks. They just love it. And it gets them a lot of subscribers, a lot of views in a short amount of time. So, mind you, when they say shit like, oh, I watched this 2-hour interview and these are the points that I think we should talk about, let's see if this is hurting Karmelo's case.
Or allowing someone who should not be saying anything to speak on their behalf or speak about the case. Like, they need to do some damage control because this guy is not the person that you want speaking for you. The reason why we're going to play this is because what he says, if true, let's keep it. Let's remember that. I'm going to remember. True is very revealing.
Go ahead and tell us what you can.
Hold on. Revealing or damaging? That's the point of this video, right? Let's see.
And then go from there. How's that sound?
Well, yeah, that sounds good. I mean, I'll go straight down the pond, honey. So, he was sitting under another school's tent. There was several other students from other schools sitting underneath, I guess, another, not their necessarily home tent, but, we saw and coming from, I guess I can say that without incriminating. I mean, it was said that the tent was moved from the stairs, because they had them set up in the stairs, not like in the end zones, or I guess you could say where they normally put them. So the two tents were together. Karmelo was under one of them, and he was on his phone, and he was approached. And as the first statement said, he says, "My brother always has my back." Mm-hmm. So the question and the gap, I think, and I don't know, I call it a gap or a crack in the wall, crack in the floor, is that needs to be filled. Is, if I don't know you and you're sitting there, and of course other people, it's raining, have a little compassion for humans who want to be out of the rain.
Right.
Why would somebody, as in the first statement, just start four-lettering them? You know what I mean? That's
right.
Okay, first of all, he wasn't there. Okay, so this is he's going, I'm guessing this is the
Neither were you. So let's hear it.
Account that Andrew Anthony got from Karmelo Anthony, and this is almost like a way for the Anthonys to get Carmelo's side out there unofficially. But he wasn't there. And the thing that I find so fascinating about what he just said was he's like, where's your compassion for, somebody getting out of the rain? Oh, look, he's just someone that wanted to get out of the rain. Again,
what's wrong with that?
This whole he just wanted to get out of the rain thing it's not cutting it for me, because
well, that explains him being under the tent. You guys like to say that he was impeding on a whole competitor's space. He wasn't supposed to be there. Why was he even under the tent? Four-letter word, I think the four-letter word is move. I don't know. But why would you start telling somebody to move? If it's not your tent, it's the school's tent, and it's raining. So that's where the word compassion, I think, came in. But we're listening.
You're an athlete. You play in the rain. You run in the rain. You train in the rain. Like, get the freak out of here. Like, you're just so delicate that you couldn't stand some rain. And so, okay, you ducked off under.
What that got to do with him sitting there on his phone? Even the extra dramatic way she want to say it, like, get out of here. Lady, it's pouring raining, and I'm just sliding over just to get out real quick, use my phone, and you're saying, get out of here. That ain't got shit to do with this situation. You should have just four-letter word. All right, I'm listening.
Under a tent, and somebody asked you to leave. So what? Just leave. So this whole, it's like, well, where's your compassion? Where was Carmelo's compassion? Like, it is beyond me that we, again, want to look at the victim for, they're kids. We have to look at the victim for him to exercise just the utmost compassion, but Karmelo not to? Where was Carmelo's compassion? Like, this is so crazy to me. How are you going to just walk right past?
As she keeps walking right past the fact that Austin touched him. He did. I know y'all don't like that part of it. Y'all want to leave that part out. But I think that is the key to this whole situation. That Austin didn't just tell him to move. Say it with me, lady. Keish, say it with me. He touched him.
Carmelo's compassion.
That's probably the first thing they're going to get to the bottom of. How did Karmelo, who's on the phone and being accused of, he just started four-lettering me.
Right.
Okay, we all have to scratch our heads about that.
No, I don't. I don't have to scratch my head about that, because kids, especially boys, they talk trash to other boys. From what I understand, the Metcalf boys weren't even there to run track. They were there as staff. So that puts them in a more... I
didn't hear that. Did y'all hear that? If that was the case, all right. But I didn't hear that. You're the first one that I heard offering that information. Sorry.
authoritarian position. Okay, I'm here as staff. Why are you sitting under our tent?
Now, they would have had a shirt.
You know, apparently.
I want to see their shirts. The shirts would have said staff. I need to see proof that they were staff.
It wasn't obvious why he was sitting under the tent. I'm guessing because he was asking him, why are you here? You know, so maybe, I don't know. But that is not provocation for you to shank somebody. Oh, I'm sorry. They corrected me in the chat. A shank is the actual weapon. Oh man. No. The act of shanking. I don't know. Shank, a shiv, whatever.
Told you. They're grifters. Like, they're sent out here to say shit. They don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. They don't know shit about the community. Like, I don't know. It must be very lucrative being a sellout, because nobody is saying that this was an unfortunate situation. We're saying that we just want the process to play out. But for you guys to ignore all the fucking crimes done by white people with a case that just happened. Well, the case happened a few years ago, but the verdict just came in on the case, in Allison case. And you guys refuse to bring this up and have so much energy to it. It's almost like y'all want to put this narrative out there that it's the black culture. And you obviously know jack shit about the black culture.
Why? That does not, it's not provocation for you to fatally harm someone.
It's not provocation for you.
So it was clear that, you know, he had this discussion with Karmelo, and then his brother stepped in. There's a squirrel, honey. She's going to go nuts. Oh yeah. Here we go. Okay, she didn't see it. Otherwise, you would have heard a dog screaming.
Like sitting down somewhere.
Then
doing this interview.
His brother steps in. Then they have words.
He's enjoying life
and
seeing squirrels.
Then the bag is grabbed from Karmelo.
Right.
So his possessions are grabbed without his consent.
Right. Okay. She leaving that out.
You know, and get tossed
she said
aside.
No. Wait. Whoa.
Then
why you saying no? What? She shook her head. No, that's not what. You weren't there either. That was in the police report, Miss. We are here to seek the truth. That's what this show is about. Y'all can know if you want to go somewhere else and get just the headline, go ahead. But over here, we seeking the truth. What are you shaking your head for about when he stated that Karmelo bag was touched? That was in a police report, lady. But go ahead. Keep grifting.
As you see in the police report or even the mugshot.
Her earrings are still shaking.
Because we did talk about this, me and Andrew. Because when Andrew called me the next day and he talked to his father, of course, you know, his father doesn't even know the details. And he can't, and Karmelo can't say the details over the phone, because when you're incarcerated and you're making your phone call, you're recorded. You know that, I know that. And anything you say, you know, it's just best to say. And his father said to me, bullying, Mark, bullying. And we're both in tears.
No.
Me and Dad are both in tears on this.
Hey, that's what everybody else said. It was bullying. You almost conceded that it was bullying, Keisha, by saying, oh, they were staff members, so they had the authority to tell people, we ain't got proof of that. But we do know that they were being bullies. So, have you ever covered cases where people said, because you said that I heard, did you hear about the Metcalf boys being bullies? Or no? But this guy, Mark Anthony, got firsthand knowledge from Pops that this was bullying.
Sorry about the dog. She's about. Hon, you just got to walk her out of it. Oh, sorry, guys. Whoever's listening, all. But
enjoy your life, man.
So
enjoy it.
He calls me and says this and that, but then as we get to it, as I was called later, so then you clearly see in the mugshot his left eye. Well, that just didn't happen because someone might say he was crying. No, he got pushed, and the hand went off his chest, and it was wet, and caught him underneath his eye. Well, then
this is nonsense. Like, let's just say that this is Karmelo's defense.
Why is it nonsense?
Like, this is what provoked him to stab someone to death. Like, he looks like he's been crying a little bit, but I don't
Let me
see.
Okay. What is this? What is that? Okay.
I am not seeing where it looks like.
No. I see a little something underneath that eye. Is that a little knot? Is that a little bump? Is that a little bump? He don't have one under the left eye. Let's see. It looked like a little bump. Did he get hit in his eye? Hold on. Let's see.
He was cut under his eye, or hit the right eye. I guess the right eye looks a little red, but they both look a little, I'm still not seeing. I'm still not seeing.
I see a little bump.
Where I don't see any blood. I don't see fear of life. Okay.
He said a bump.
Here's the other picture.
Wait a minute. No bump.
Still.
No bump.
I mean.
Wait a minute. Where's the bump?
Look to be.
I don't see the bump over here.
I don't know. Y'all help me. Do y'all see anything? Do you see anything that I'm not seeing? And further.
What picture is this? Is this before or after? However, I don't see no bump under that eye like I did in the other picture. Let's see again. Oh shit, let's see this shit again. Bump. No bump. I don't know.
To be swollen, or I don't know. Y'all help me. Do y'all see anything? Do you see anything that I'm not seeing? And furthermore, when he was arrested, he never said. He never, at least in the police report, there was no reporting of him saying, he hit me in my eye, or, he hit, when he hit me in my eye, I just felt like my life was in danger. He says he put his hands on me, which people.
What? So, for you needed to hear him say, he punched me in my right eye. For you to indicate, for him to indicate that he was defending himself. That's what you had to hear. Karmelo actually saying, and it's in the police report, he put his hands on me. That's not an indication of touching. That's not showing the initial aggressor for you. You got to hear words like bald fist, right eye, contact, or else. You guys tell me. I don't know. This is hilarious. You're trying hard to paint this baby as a criminal, which I think it was an unfortunate situation. I don't think Austin deserved to lose his life. No. But I don't think Karmelo don't deserve due process. I don't think Karmelo deserves to be charged as a murderer. No. Manslaughter, it happens all the time. People that defend themselves, people become unalive from the situation. It's a very unfortunate event. But we have laws in place where people can be charged for unfortunate events. You just don't have to deem him as a thug, criminal, murderer. You don't.
Everybody, I don't think there is a debate there. It sounds like, yes, Austin did push him at one point and then and grab his stuff or grab his stuff and then push him, or he put his hands on it at some point. He put his hands on his stuff at some point.
Oh my God.
Or, at one of those two scenarios. That seems to be consistent with what everybody's saying.
Right. Case closed. Self-defense. So for you to sit here and say that this guy's interview is not helping Karmelo's case, how are you helping Austin's case? Tell me. Because all of you guys are saying the same shit. He did touch him. He did touch him. He did touch him.
In any other circumstance, will we say, okay, then it's now fair game for you to turn around and stab somebody? That is the question. Are Austin Metcalf's his actions, were they enough for you to feel like you are in fear of your life? Reasonably, do you have a reasonable
You don't know
fear of your life in danger?
They all say that like they know the law, the stand your ground law, self-defense. Do you have a reasonable? You learned that like 2 weeks ago. Yes, he did. Because as you guys like to leave out, even Mom said it in her interview when she was talking about the threats to the family. She stated that the Metcalf boys, and I covered it in my video, that there was emphasis on boys. And I think that's going to come up in the trial. Boys. Because there was both of them that were approaching Karmelo. So I seen a lawyer, lawyer Andrew something, clear as day, just lie and say, oh, this is he didn't fear for his life. This is two athletes of the same build, same size. And he says this as he's looking at the police report, and it says that some of the witnesses state that Karmelo was a little skinny kid. He sees it. He's a skinny kid. And they said that the Metcalf boys was pushing 200 or 200 plus, whatever it is. So you got two 200-pound boys coming after this skinny kid. Some say 140, 160. Some say he's a little baby. He's small. How is he not in fear of his life when they're approaching him the way they did? But let's hear this YouTube lawyer.
Judging by Karmelo's own statements, judging by the police report, judging by the way Karmelo looks, judging by everybody that has said something about this, doesn't look like he had a reasonable fear of his life being in danger.
He looked small and he looked like he had a bump. Personally. So with two kids coming to him, one already made contact with him physically, and it looked like he was hit, and he said he had hands put on him. Yes, we all can see that he feared for his life, or he has the right to claim self-defense. Because it's not about how you feel, Keisha. It's about how Karmelo felt at that time.
As this so-called friend who is supposed to be like, I don't know why this person is speaking, but since they are, we have to talk about it.
Right.
They're not helping at all. Listen to what he says.
Let's hear it.
there was words said as he's coming after him, and he's got his bag now, and he says, touch me, the warning. I call it an all-out warning. I probably have said it to myself, being a former hockey player.
Tell him.
Do it again, man. But basically he said,
exactly.
Touch me and see what happens. Well,
she said, kids being kids. No, sweetheart. You in the court of law, not kids being kids. You trying to downplay this key point. Karmelo told the aggressor to stop the aggression verbally. That's key. That means Austin was being aggressive and he didn't stop. So Karmelo said it, stop, or no. He said, touch me again, indicating that he was touched already. Am I missing something? Think about it. Austin's not even stabbed yet, but Karmelo is already touched. Think about that. And then Austin said, fuck your verbal command. I'm touching you again. You're going to have to try to keep up. You have to try to keep up.
I don't know what to say to that. So you got now, as in the first statement again, as I like to say always, the brothers said we, and each one of those brothers is 400 pounds, and I know Karmelo.
No, he's
not 150 pounds. There's no way that kid weighs 150 pounds.
Yeah, they have him listed at 162, and the brothers listed at 200.
162.
Well, let's just say Karmelo was seriously outweighed.
Yes, exactly.
The other
two
brothers
guys.
says he didn't even see it, so it wasn't like they were both coming at him at one time.
It's wet, it's slippery.
How you know they both wasn't coming at him at one time? You weren't there. You just said that this guy wasn't there. But witnesses that were there, multiple witnesses that were there, said that both brothers approached him. So yes, that equates to 400 pounds, because he meant to say they both 200 pounds each. That equates to 400 pounds coming towards 162 pounds in an aggressive manner. 200 pounds of it has already physically contacted the 160-pound Karmelo. How does Karmelo know that the other brother isn't going to join in? How is he supposed to just be like, oh no, he's just gonna sit back while I'm over here fighting his lady? But I don't know. I don't think people care to understand. I just think it's for the clicks, and they just want to be like, oh, black kid bad. I think that's what it is.
You think of all kinds of things that can happen to you in a situation, in a lot of teenage incidents. I went to high school. When an incident happens, you're instantly surrounded. It's hard to move. I mean, it's hard to move.
It wouldn't have been for Karmelo, because he was literally, it would not have been hard for Karmelo to move because he was it was out in the open. He could have easily moved. He was asked to move and he didn't move.
I don't think you understand what he was saying. Lady, he's saying in a altercation with one of these 200-pound threats in the rain on the bleachers, a fight is not going to be easy to maneuver in. That's what he's saying. Oh, you guys got to keep up. Please. As slippery as the bleachers is, he's already fighting one, and here comes another. Like, wait, maybe he's not coming yet, but he know there's two of them. He's probably already slipping. You like, he could have moved a long time ago. That's not what we're talking about.
So all that being said, he was looking for a way out.
Before you continue, do you know if anything that was said by the brother?
Right. That's what I want to know.
It's a lot of hearsay because it's not a police report that I'm aware of. Okay. But from the father was, I'm going to punch you in the face with the N-word. So, that I'm sure will come to light.
Uh-oh. What did she say in the beginning of this video? She said, Keisha said clear as day, if this is true, if the claims made by this friend of the family is true, then this may not be a good look for Karmelo. He shouldn't be speaking. The family should distance themselves. If it comes out that Austin called him the N-word and physically touched him, that's a hate crime. For you, Keisha, because you weren't there, to literally be like, all he did was he was told to move. There's a lot of information in this case that neither one of us know. But if that key thing, I'm going to punch you N-word, was uttered by that 200-pound threat, then yes, Karmelo did fear for his life. Hence, the reason why he didn't just have a knife on him out of nowhere like some malicious black thug y'all think he is. He had a cleat sharpener that he was probably using for the shoes he was going to be running in later. I don't know. He decided to defend himself.
And, the next hearing. And I think that's, I know that's when Karmelo.
She ain't going to believe it anyway. None of them going to believe it.
Find out what happens. The kid just, I told you yesterday, in our phone conversation, he was accepted to a well-known university. Of course, I hope people will understand I cannot give that out, but astro engineering, are you kidding me? That is one smart kid. And not that if he did do anything, found guilty and
think about that. I guarantee you the media has that information. That Karmelo he had an offering to go to the school for astro engineering. This malicious thug, criminal, murderer, who's a product of his community, had an offering to go to school for like oh, you guys just want to hate black people. That's all it is. Keisha, what do you have to say about this qualification that I did not know?
But judges don't want to throw promising young people in jail. They don't.
Right.
And I'm not giving anybody excuse.
Right.
There should have been no loss of life.
No.
Absolutely none.
Right there. That is what he said. And I'm like, this guy is not helping. There should not have been any loss of life.
Wait, that was it? That was it? That was the juice of this 2-hour interview that you was like, he shouldn't be speaking for the family? I think everybody knows there shouldn't have been a loss of life, but obviously this wouldn't have been the case if there wasn't a loss of life. In the case of self-defense, that's kind of what you're stating, that there was a loss of life. an unfortunate loss of life. But even in the case of self-defense and manslaughter, there's a loss of life. So this was the gotcha video. After hearing this, friend of the family say it was raining, it was 2 kids, both over 200 pounds, allegedly calling him the N-word, trying to make Karmelo move into the rain when he was just sitting there on his phone. And he's a prestigious kid that had a offering to go to school for astrophysicists or something. But, you know, unfortunately somebody lost their life and it shouldn't have happened. So boom, 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 you got Karmelo's a criminal. That's how you sum up your video? Actually, let me hear how you sum up your video.
Let me tell you why that is such a big admission.
Why?
Because he's getting, if this is all true, if this Mark Anthony person is real and this is true,
right?
He's getting this information
right
from Andrew Anthony, Karmelo's father,
right?
Which got it from Karmelo Anthony,
right?
So in this kind of telephone game,
right,
Karmelo told Anthony
he has more information than you, right?
Karmelo told Andrew. Andrew told this 10-year friend Mark.
Right.
Mark's own conclusion is there should not have been a loss of life. So apparently, listening to the details that he heard, his conclusion too is there should not have been a loss of life, meaning he did not think, listening to this, that there was a reasonable thinking that your life was in danger. There was a reasonable threat of your life being in danger. Listening.
That's not what he said. That's not what he said. But try to frame it that way because that gets you clicks. That gets you clicks. It's almost like that Black Lives Matter conversation. Oh, we didn't say Black Lives Matter too, so you just think white lives don't matter. It's like, no, nigga, wait, hold on, no. Just because Mark said, oh, there shouldn't have been a loss of life, instead of not saying, I wish there wasn't a loss of life. You're saying this is proof that even this 10-year friend thinks that Karmelo is guilty of murder because he didn't fear for his life, because after Mark looked at all the evidence, he even concluded that there shouldn't have been a loss of life. Man. That's what I'm saying. I'm done with you people. And I don't even, I'm going to keep following this case because it seemed like people like me and others that are on Karmelo's side, we're needed. We're needed because the smear campaign is big. It's getting funded by a lot of these right-wing channels, and we need to stick behind Karmelo. I'm not saying he's innocent, and I don't want her thinking, he think he's guilty too. Nah, something happened, tragically. But we have rules in place for that. We have laws built in our system for that kind of shit. And for her to sit here and pretend like he's this thug after she heard what he was offered and why, for that other guy to play a video of Karmelo running around having fun with his friends, for him to say, oh, my prisoner friends are going to have fun with him. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I'm going to keep following in this case because if Casey Allison can get charged or found liable for manslaughter, then it almost seemed like the people that said Karmelo may be found guilty of manslaughter only having real idea of how these self-defense claims really work.